I'm going to demonstrate 3 different ways that someone using a screen reader might conceptualize a website and the content on it. So the first one I'm going to do is a more linear way of looking at a website that is kind of closer to, in my mind, it's closer to kind of how somebody who's visually looking at the site would think of it. Um, the next way I'm going to look at it is with shortcut keys, and the last way is with an elements list. So I'm doing this on a Mac with Google Drive, and I do 99.9% of my work on a PC, so please forgive me if I'm a little slow on the Mac. But here's the first kind of looking at the website in a linear manner. So I'm just going to go through.
Expanding list box, 0 items selected. Google Apps, collapsed button. You are current 0 Google notifications, collapsed pop-up. Google account, Amelia Dickerson, Dickersa at column.
And this actually might involve skipping ahead by headings, so we'll do that.
Colorado.edu, collapse. H, search drive, combo box. H, you are current misspell, HH.
And so there actually aren't a lot of headings on Google Drive, so that's why I don't do a whole lot of it with this site. So I'm going to keep going just by element.
Google Apps, collapsed button. 0 Google notifications, collapsed pop Google account, Amelia Dickerson and no banner. You are currently on a new, collapsed button. Navigation 2 items. You are currently on a navigation inside of web content.
Okay, so here's one where it says that I'm on a navigation that contains 2 items. So I'm going to try to drill down into this navigation and see what's there. And I can't. So that I'm not sure if I'm missing something or what, but I'm going to keep going.
Heading level 2, folder path. You are list folder path 3 items. You are currently link, my drive, 1 of link, AUL, 2 of sample folder, collapsed pop end of list. You are currently on a list. To move end of navigation. You are toolbar. You are currently on a toolbar.
Okay, so here I get to a toolbar. So here's something else that I know that there are options inside of there, but just calling it toolbar doesn't give me an idea. So the only way for me to really figure out what's in there is to drill down. So I'm going to do that.
In toolbar. 8 items, get shareable link, collapsed pop-up button. Share, sample Google Sheet button. Preview button. Remove button. More actions, collapsed pop-up button. Grid view button. Hide details, selected toggle button. Settings, collapsed pop-up button. Settings, collapsed pop-up button.
So there are a lot of good options in there. Honestly, I'm probably not going to remember them because there wasn't some like really unified like print or like copy, cut, that sort of thing. It just wasn't a really unified set of options in there, so I'm probably not going to remember what's in there, and it won't be easy to me to jump right to that toolbar. But it's good to know that's there with those options.
Out of toolbar.
We keep going.
Navigation 2 items. Heading level 2, folders and views. Folders and views table, row 2 of 6, selected. You are currently on a table. To enter this table, press Control, Option, Shift, down arrow.
Okay, and I'm actually going to go back now because this table is the first thing that I might jump to when I get to the page, although actually when I get to the page it will probably put me in this table, but I'm going to jump to it using shortcut keys.
Heading level navigation toolbar, end of list.
So kind of went back up to random place, and now I'm going to hit GN. And I actually find that sometimes Google Drive, and especially on Mac, can be slow. It's not working. Come on. It's being really slow.
List navigation,
Go back. Try this again.
Folders and views table, row 2 of 6, selected navigation 2 items. You are currently on a table.
There we go.
To enter this table, press Control, Option, Shift.
So that time it took me right to the table. And because I've set this up ahead of time and because I've used Google Drive a fair amount, I know that the kind kind of the best way for me to jump to the next thing that I want to get to, which is the kind of, so once you pick the initial folder, is to fill the folders within that. So I'm just going to go through once again in a linear manner till I get to the next set of folders. So.
And is navigation. Total storage summary, usage summary, main 5 items. Sort by, last modified, sorted by, last.
Okay, so there I was going linearly, but then when I got to these, the list of kind of telling me how to sort it, then I also know that I am getting close to the next set of folders and things that I want to get into. So that's just a landmark, and I don't mean an ARIA landmark, but just a general landmark that I've set up for myself from trying to get around and remembering where things are. And that is something that people who are blind using screen reading software wind up doing a lot, is kind of having spots that they can jump to easily and then knowing where things are from that, that sort of thing.
Folder list view, list box 1 item selected. Sample Google Sheet shared Google Sheets owned by me last modified by me 12:49 p.m. selected text 4 of 5.
Okay.
You are currently at link. Sample Google Sheet Google Sheets. Folder list view, list box 1 item selected.
Okay, so let's start by, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a new file into this folder. So this is another shortcut key. I'm going to hit C to get to that new menu. And the thing with shortcuts, while they can be very quick and easy to use, you also just need to know them. Some of Google's apps use ones that are consistent with other shortcut keys used just in general around the operating system, but they definitely are not all that way. And so can't depend on that. So C.
Menu 6 items new, expanded button.
So that just
You are
pulled up the
currently on the
new
To click this button,
menu.
press
I'm going to
Control,
go
Option, space.
down.
New folder ellipsis, interactive. You are current file upload, interactive.
Okay.
You are currently
File upload. So I'm going to pick that.
Safari busy. Closing menu, folder list view, list box 1 item selected. Sample Google Sheet shared Google Sheets owned by me last modified by me 12:49.
And it doesn't always work the first time, and so I don't know if that's my own not being good with VoiceOver or if it's a matter of the system. But I'm going to try it one more time and see if it works.
List 1 item selected. Clear edited.mp4, MPEG-4 movie group 12
There we
of
go.
59. Arrange menu button. Your column view browser.
Okay, never mind. I am in, so these are some recordings I've made.
Arrange menu button. Arrange menu button. Column view browser 1 item selected. Column view browse cancel button. Column view browser 1 item selected. Vertical splitter. You are column view browser 1 item selected. Clear edited.mp4, MPEG-4 movie group 12 of 59.
Okay, here we go.
Navigation 2 items. New collapsed button. You are currently on a button inside of web content.
Get out of that.
Out of sample folder. Google Drive web content.
And try it one more time.
Menu 6 items new. Expand new folder ellipsis. Interactive. File upload. Interactive. You are currently on a menu item. To interact with items, press file upload. Interactive. You are currently on a browser. To begin
Okay,
interacting with
here's
this
the browser.
press
This is what I
Control,
wanted.
Alt, Shift, Depth about downloads. Multilingual PDF. Accessible and inaccessible form. .mp4. MPEG-4 movie. You
Okay.
are currently on a text.
Okay, there we go. There's something that I've recorded, and I'm going to upload into this.
Uploading 1 item. Web dialog with 5 items. Closing dialog. You are currently on a web dialog inside of web content. To interact with items in this.
Okay, so that was a quick and easy way to do that with shortcut keys. The last thing I'm going to show you is the elements list. And that basically creates a columns of lists of certain kinds of element. So here we go.
Form controls menu.
Okay, so I've got forms,
No items in web spots menu.
web spots,
Landmarks menu.
landmarks,
Window spots menu. Links menu. Headings menu. Form controls menu.
and then back to forms. Sorry, I didn't read all of those out loud, but so basically it's more a way of looking at kind of a list of here are all the links, here are all the headings, that sort of thing, on this current page. And so this is one that I use a lot actually for when I want to download a file, because what I found is that if I go down here,
Clear search button.
whoops,
No items in red box menu. Form controls menu. Clear search button. Search options. Search Google Drive HH. Google Apps. Google Account New. Collect Share. Sample Preview button. Remove button. Grid View button. Sort by. Name button. Last modified. Sorted by. Hide details button. Minimize button. Close button. Accessible and inaccessible form. Got it? Accessible and inaccessible form. Accept close and hide deep. Sorted by. Last modified. Sort by. Grid View button. Remove button.
okay, sorry, so I know that just past the remove button,
Remove button. You are currently on a button.
so I went to the remove button, and now I'm going to go one menu further.
More actions. Collapsed pop-up button.
So
You are
that's
currently on a pop-up.
more actions. If I go in here,
Menu 6 items. More actions. Expanded pop-up button. Open with as subject. Move to ellipse as star. Rename ellipse. Make a copy. Download. Interactive.
download, so I'm going to hit enter.
More actions. Collapsed pop-up button.
Okay, it's not starting to download, but I'm not going to go through repeating it because that's more my not using the right, I don't know, set of keys or the computer being fussy. But so that's another way of kind of conceptualizing and thinking about the layout of content. So there I was kind of going down the correct column, finding one landmark. Once again, not an ARIA landmark, but just something that I think of in my head as a landmark. Going to that and then going a little bit further. So people use these different ways of thinking of the page in various combinations, and there are even other ways of thinking of a page, but I just wanted to demonstrate these three.